Dr. Mack,
Leah, come in.
you sent word that you wanted to see me?
Yes.
It's about that last quiz, isn't it? Oh, I was afraid I messed up on that one. Last semester, I kind of got a grasp on everything, all the concepts, the sines and cosines and all that. But once we got deeper into calculus, I don't know. This is hard, and I'm not sure I'll ever be able to see.
This is not about the math quiz, Leah.
It's not?
No.
Well, how did I do then on the quiz?
You made a 92.
Well, not as good as I usually do, but I'll take it. I will certainly take it. Because like I said, I feel like I'm hitting a wall here. I can memorize the steps and solve the problems and plot the curves, but I've stopped really seeing how it all works. It doesn't resonate anymore.
Leah, I didn't call you in to talk about the quiz or about your understanding of math.
Oh, so what then?
I suppose, well, you were talking about taking things step by step without seeing the whole picture. I'm afraid that's what you're doing with these plans you're making to go to that demonstration in Montgomery.
You've heard about those plans of mine?
Well, of course, this is a small campus.
I am so looking forward to being a part of this, making history.
As I was saying, we all know you're planning to ride down to Montgomery with those other girls tomorrow. And you're so young and idealistic, so naive. I'm afraid you don't know how it all adds up.
I don't understand.
My point exactly.
No, I don't understand what you're talking about. We were watching the news on the television in the student lounge, and we saw pictures of all these people who were planning to come and march with Dr. King for voting rights. Rabbis and nuns and all kinds of people. And we said, where are the white people in the South who believe in this? Like we do.
Because we know that their ideas are dangerous. Look, people come in different categories, just like numbers. Some are prime numbers like 1, 3, 5, 7, 11. Others are composites.
I know that. What does that have to do with the movement?
And the two categories should never mix. The numbers do in math, of course, but in society, different kinds of people should stay separate.
I can't believe you think that. I'm sure you were taught to think that way when you were growing up, but there are so many ways that idea is false. And even if it was true, would you think that the people in the other category shouldn't have the right to vote?
If they are educated, if they understand what they are voting for. That's why we have those requirements about understanding the Constitution.
Dr. Mack, I can't believe this. And those requirements are so unfair. White people don't get asked to explain the Constitution. Don't you agree that those laws need to be changed?
We can't change the laws of nature. But even if you have a logical argument about expanding rights for Negroes, and maybe you do, you shouldn't be out marching in the streets with those agitators. It's not proper.
Oh, I thought maybe you were worried that we might not be safe.
That too. Look, I know you have lots of relatives who've attended this school.
My mother, her two sisters, my father's mother and sister and aunt.
And what would those fine, upright women think about you catching a ride to Montgomery to march in the streets with all kinds of riffraff?
I know exactly what one of them would think. Can I tell you a story?
Oh, I suppose.
When my mother attended this fine women's college, she was active in the Christian Association. She attended YWCA conferences out of the state. Some Negro girls were there too, and they met together and they ate together.
Just young women, though, right? No men.
Well, what difference does that make?
What difference?
Oh, I see. You're saying it's like positive and negative numbers, a plus and a minus. When both kinds of numbers are part of an equation, confusion results.
Are you making a dirty joke, young lady?
What? No, oh, I didn't mean to.
Never mind.
But I was telling you a story. Even though there were no young men there, the fact that she had attended those conferences was enough to get my mother on some kind of FBI list. And the FBI showed up in Charleston, South Carolina, to speak to my grandfather.
And I am sure he was not pleased to hear what she had been up to.
Probably not. His grandfather had been a blockade runner during the Civil War. And his father, his grandfather's father, had been a...
That's enough. We don't need to go that far back.
Yes, we do. When you ask a Southern girl about her relatives, it doesn't stop with one generation. It's like a factorial number, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1.
All the numbers after the decimal for pi. Endless.
Shall I go on? The family never talked about this, but I've learned that my grandfather's great-grandfather and great-uncle had been in the slave trade. They had brought people from Africa to the market in Charleston.
So naturally, your grandfather was upset when...
But one thing my grandfather really couldn't stand was the government putting its nose in his business. He told them to stop interfering and go back where they came from.
And that's what you're trying to tell me.
No, I would never say that. It would be rude.
Look, I don't seem to be getting anywhere trying to reason with you. Will you do one thing for me, Leah? Pray with me.
Pray with you? For what? Would you pray that God will keep us safe? I know it could be dangerous.
The only way to be safe is not to go at all.
So you'll ask God to...
To protect you, yes, by opening your eyes and bringing you to your senses.
I don't think I can ask God for that. Could we both pray for each other?
I suppose.
You can pray that God will open my eyes, and I can pray that he will open yours. Oh, will the two prayers cancel each other out? Like when the numbers repeat on both sides of an equation?
That's not how prayer works, Leah. Nothing gets canceled.
Would we have to kneel down to pray?
No, of course not.
I'll tell you what. I will sit here a minute and say a prayer for you, quietly, and you can do the same for me.
Dear Lord, teach this young woman to honor the world you have created and the laws you have given us to follow. Protect her from her youthful
You got this,
impulses
God?
of defiance.
Thanks. Bless his heart.